What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. And wow, do we have some terrible price action in the crypto market this morning. And also, it's not just crypto. You got to look at the macro level. All markets are in turmoil this morning. Even gold is down. So everything is down, right? If I check DXY, I'm sure that's up, though. It's pretty wild out there, guys. I'm not going to lie. This morning when I woke up, I saw before I went to bed last night, I saw the futures were down in the stock market. So I figured I was going to wake up to some red. But this was quite the, we talked about, I was on Crypto Lifer's stream Saturday night, and we talked about how on a macro level that the markets were in turmoil, right? And we were searching for a bottom still. Could Bitcoin go down to 25, 23, 20,000 we were talking about. And, on that live stream, we actually nailed a short for Bitcoin, right? And, we assume we might hit a bottom there, right? We're trying, it's really hard to find a bottom. Obviously, no one's going to really 100% find the actual bottom. But what the thing is, if you're beaten down so hard right now, as we are, things are down, some altcoins are down 90%, 85% from their all-time high. These are the times, how much further can they go down, right? Obviously, do your own research. It's not financial advice. Some coins after this, I believe, will go to zero and will disappear. But if you do your research, right, and you get into the right coins, crypto is not dead. The one thing I'm seeing all over Twitter and social media is that, I knew it was a scam. Like, all the haters, right, are coming right back in saying, I saw Peter, what's his name? Peter, come on, where is it? Peter Brandt out there saying, I told you guys so, meanwhile, gold's fallen too, but he's saying, I told you so. And he said that, we were at $3 trillion. Now we're just dropped below $1 trillion, which is crazy to think. But now he's like, this last $1 trillion when we go to zero is going to be the most painful one for you guys. These are the types of things you always hear in a bear market, right? They try to scare you out of your bags. If there's one thing that you guys should understand, that what I saw, right, is retail capitulating and institutions buying up that fear, right? And that just that's the history of markets. It's always the retail, the everyday retail investor, going with the fear that the media is telling you that, oh my God, it's going to be a depression and all this, and that they sell, right? And then the institutions, right, the smart investors, they're buying up the fear. So which kind of investor are you? Are you one of those retail investors that use your emotions to trade, and you're selling into this fear thinking that crypto is going to zero? It's funny because, in a week like this, all the research that someone goes in, someone's been in this market for the last year, right? And they've been researching, and then they understand what crypto is and how it's going to be the future. 1 week of this price action like this can just totally flip someone, the emotion in the ordinary retail investor can make them forget all the research they did for the last year and think, oh my God, maybe it is going to zero. Maybe I should just sell. And that's what happens. People capitulate because they let their emotions take control. And if there's one thing I learned, in the 4.5 years or so that I've been in this market, I shut down the emotion. I know exactly, I've researched this market so hard, right? When I get into something, I get in, you can't stop me, right? I know where this is going. I think most of you guys know where this is going. So yes, this is a painful day. This has been a painful last 6 months. But at the end of the day, these are the best buying opportunities. Not financial advice, but financial freedom or generational wealth is made in these bear markets. If I had the same knowledge I had, in the last couple of years that I had the last bear market, then I'd be way more, I'd have way more money, right? Everybody always says that, I wish I had the mindset I have now, a couple of years ago, or I'd be, whatever. But you can't have regrets. Now you got to take that knowledge that you've gained in the last, 2 or 3 years, and now you're in a bear market. These are low prices. Let me just show you. Hold on, the Fear and Greed Index, I think this is BS, by the way. This thing should be in single digits. There's no way. I guess this came out, probably a little right before the dip, because it says here current price is 23,000. So maybe, I just still think this should have been 8, right? But 11, we're still extreme fear. It's been like this for, 3 or 4 months now. This is where you buy. You can't go wrong. If you look at back in history, buying in these, low single digit to, in the teens, low 20s even, in extreme fear, it can never go wrong, because at some point in time, guys, this is going to be extreme greed, right? So if you If you just look at this one indicator and just buy in extreme fear and sell in extreme greed, you're probably going to make money, right? It's that simple at sometimes, right? But this thing should be lower, in my opinion. But this is the thing I really want to show you guys, because this is, you see this in every bear market. This is like basically some of the, this is what happens in crypto bear markets until, this thing gets really mature and we get to like $5 trillion, $10 trillion market cap where we kind of level off the volatility. This is the type of, these are the type of losses you see in a bear market. Look at these cryptocurrencies down from all-time highs. This is Watcher Guru tweeted this out. Bitcoin down 65.8%, Ethereum down 74.9%, BNB down 67.8%, Cardano down 85.4%, XRP down 90%, Solana down about 90%, Polkadot 87. I mean, everything's down 85 to 90%. I mean, this is what happens in bear markets. But if this is, this is what this is saying to me is, we're basically at the bottom. Yeah, we could drop it a little lower. Maybe Bitcoin could get to 18,000, maybe, right? I just don't see it going lower than that. Maybe I'm wrong. You think about all the people that bought in at 18,000. Who are the sellers? There's got to be sellers. I mean, for the price to drop, there's got to be more sellers. Who is selling it at 20,000, right? At our past all-time high back in 2018. Not many people. I think we've basically, got rid of all of the weak hands, if you will, right? So my opinion, right? I'll just give you my opinion, and it could be wrong because, anybody out there telling you that they 100%, say this is going to happen or that's going to happen, they're lying to you, right? So my opinion is we are, if not at, closer at the bottom right now. And if we're not, then I'd rather be in the market than not, right? People always say, oh, I'm waiting for this price to get in, or I'm waiting for this price, I'm waiting for 18,000. What's worse? It just, flying to the root, to an all-time high now, and you're not in the market, or getting into the market and it goes down another 10%, right? You'd rather be in the market, right? How bad would you feel if, I was waiting for 18,000 and then it starts booming and then you're trying to chase green candles? I mean, that's why dollar cost averaging is the best strategy, right? Put a little bit in. So you never put all your buy in one, but as it goes down, keep buying, and then until it finds its bottom, you're buying, and then it keeps going up, you're buying still. Dollar cost averaging, find that good average buy-in, right? And then when things start, then you have a position, right? When you're waiting for a buy and it never happens, then you're just not in the market. And then what'd you do? And you're just looking at someone else is making money, and you're sitting there. Oh, I wish I would have bought, right? So it's all about getting, having a position and then adding to that position as it either goes up or down. So, I mean, like I said, what this is telling me is that we're basically, 90%, when things are down about 85, 90%, we're looking at a bottom here, right? And the sentiment couldn't be lower. So, like I said, not financial advice, but these are the times that I'm nibbling away. I'm dollar cost averaging into these long-term holds that I have. And honestly, something that blockchain backer always taught me, he has a emotion log, like a trader's log that it's like a journal. He puts it like whatever he's feeling that day in the market, he writes down like some thoughts of how his emotions are feeling, right? And he talked about back in 2018 where, when Bitcoin fell to like 3,500, I believe it was, that was a low back in the last bear market. And how he felt, right? He said that, oh my God, I can't believe I put more money in the market yesterday, and I'm an idiot, and he was calling himself like that. He was a terrible investor, and I've lost all my money. It's just crazy how when things are so low, you second guess yourself, right? But like I said in the beginning of the video, if you've done enough research, you got to, we know where this market's going. We see what the institutions have put the money in the last year. You see JP Morgan saying that they're trying to start an exchange, basically. Citadel's trying to start an exchange. PayPal. It's like all these, the list goes on and on about how this industry has really come up in the last year or two. This isn't going away, right? Yeah, some of these coins will go to zero and will disappear forever. If they don't have a real use case, they are going to zero. And I actually have some tweets about that. Let's just move on to the next tweet here. This was actually Thinking Crypto. Tony Edward, Think Crypto, tweeted this out. And this makes a lot of sense too, right? This crash in bear market could be crypto's version of the 2000 dot-com bubble flush out. Pets.com type coins get wiped out. Only small amount of coins make it. And I think that is 100% true. I actually had, this is where me and Crypto Lifer disagreed the other night on the live stream. He thought that, in 5 years we'll have 50,000 coins. I was the opposite. I think in 5 years we're going to have maybe 1,000, 2,000 coins. Because I think when regulation comes in, you're not going to be able to have these coins that just do nothing, right? They're just like gambling, meme coin, hype coin things that just are basically rug pull Ponzi schemes, right? That's what they are. It's all about, buying in early and, trying to pump those bags up as much as you can so you can sell the top. That's a Ponzi scheme. That's exactly what that is. If you don't have real use case and real utility, you shouldn't be allowed to be a crypto. That's just the way I see it. That's the way I think the regulation is going to be set. And I think by, in the next 2-3 years, you're going to have real regulation coming in. I think you probably have stablecoin regulation coming in by the end of the year. And then, with the executive order we got from Biden, all these agencies are supposedly coming together and to give their input by, I think, at the end of this year. And I think they'll probably have real regulation in crypto by early next year. That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, definitely sometime next year we'll hopefully have regulation. But I'm thinking the way that this executive order was dealt with, bring all the agencies together, make sure we're all on the same page here, and then we have bills going through with Kirsten Gillibrand and Cynthia Loomis. So it's coming together. Obviously, our government moves very slow. So hoping to have at least stablecoin regulation by the end of the year, and then real regulation by next year. But even with the Ripple SEC case, that will give us some clarity, at least for XRP. If you're watching this channel, I'm sure you guys own a little XRP. But the next thing I wanted to show you guys was XRP Crypto Wolf tweeted this out. Most altcoins that crashed over 90% will never come back because they don't have real world utility. Utility is key in a regulated crypto world. This is why you can never go wrong with buying XRP. And I 100% agree. I know from years of experience and researching and following XRP and Ripple that XRP has real utility, right? That you can see, that's been used right now, right? Their ODL, Ripple's ODL product is grown, 8x. I think it's 8x year over year in the last year. They're growing, even with this lawsuit with the SEC, they're growing business using their XRP product, ODL, is growing worldwide at an exponential rate. And it's only going to grow more. As soon as we get clarity in the US, that rate is going to go up even more. So I know there's utility there. I know there's actually a use case. And there's other, all the payment we talked about also on Crypto Lifer's channel, the ISO 222 coins, all the payment processing coins, right? Algo, XLM, Hedera Hashcraft, XDC, Quant, IOTA. Those have real use cases, and they will be used in the future, right? They're already being used, most of those coins. So when you're buying coins that you want to put in your long-term holdings, you definitely want to find coins that have a future. Obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum, it looks like they have a future, right? They're the top two coins. They're basically baked into the cake. Then you have XRP, XLM. Then you have ADA, I believe, Cardano, because I believe they're kind of battling Ethereum for that smart contract platform, DeFi platforms. It's like you got to go through each use case that crypto will be used in the future and kind of go through your top 3 coins of which coins are going to be battling out for that use case, right? Matic, great layer 2 platform that will definitely be around. It's like these are the type of things that you get into a coin, you research the hell out of it, and you try to make sure that will have a future in the next 5 to 10 years, right? That's the way I'm not really a day trader. I'm more of a long-term trader. When I buy something, I'm thinking about I'm going to hold this for the next at least 5 to 10 years, right? I might sell a little bit on the way up if it goes up, right? I have my you have a plan, right? You have your sell orders or wherever your price targets or when you want to sell, but it's like you expect to hold most of that coin for at least 5 to 10 years, right? Because think of what this market's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years, right? Yes, Bitcoin will probably hit 100,000, 200,000. XRP will probably hit $10, $20, $100 in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's all about having that patience in this market, because if you look at a long-term chart, this thing has only been going up for the last 10 years, and it's most of these coins will probably go to zero, but those strong top 10, top 20 coins that have real use case, they will continue to grow in market cap and in adoption in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's all about finding those coins that have, like I said, have utility, have a world use case that is like kind of changing the world world we live in, right? With VR, with gaming, with DeFi, payments, smart contracts, Filecoin and VeChain with the what's it called? I forget. But it just find the use cases, guys, and you can't go wrong, because in the future, and like you said, in a regulated crypto world, it's about use case, right? It's about actual utility. So moving on. So this is digital, I believe, Digital Asset Investor, I think, tweeted this out. No, Digital Perspectives. I mean, this is a type of thing this is why we need regulation, guys. So Celsius network, Celsius is freezing withdrawal, swaps, and transfers between accounts. We need regulatory clarity now more than ever. Stay safe out there. Retweet. So, surprise, surprise. Now we have another platform, lending platform, that's having trouble through this turmoil in the markets. And when you're freezing a withdrawal, like, no, you can't sell. So what is going on? If there's no, and they put up this fake kind of message out there. Excuse me. Fake message trying to be like, oh, this is what's happening, and we're sorry, and we're trying to deal with it. It's like this type of thing cannot happen. And this is like Celsius has now lost all trust from the community. I mean, they're dead in the water. They're just they're basically another Luna, because after something like this, people are going to take their money out as soon as they can withdraw. They're going to take their money right out, because they're not going to trust you. They saw what happened with Luna, where people lost all their money. They're not going to take that chance. So as soon as this goes back to, I don't know if it has, I haven't checked it, but as soon as it withdrawals are back on, or swaps or transfers, see you later, Celsius. The network is done. So I've seen many interviews with I forget his name, the guy that owns Celsius, or the CEO, whatever, and he seemed like a good dude, or like he was doing the right thing. But even good actors get wrecked in an unregulated crypto world, right? So nothing new. And then the next thing, it gets even scary, because this type of thing, this is probably what's causing the market to take a big hit, right? Same thing happened with the UST and Luna hit. It's like that kind of just was a cascading effect to the rest of the market. So then you look at, this is Blockchain Backer has been talking about this since the UST fiasco, and it was talking about Tether, right? This is a tweet that he put back, I think this was May 11th of this year, right? And he talked about how the UST Tether, Tether kind of depegged for a little bit, right? And then it kind of went back to like 99 cents, and then it never really came back to like really pegged to the dollar. And he showed, a couple days later, it's still not, pegged back to the dollar. And then it kind of went back here. This was in May 12th. It kind of went back, but it was still at 98. And it's like, look at that dip down to 93. It's like, this is during the whole UST nonsense. So then he's been keeping a close eye on this. I think a lot of people have been, people have been leaving Tether to go to USD coin, which I think is a smart move, in my opinion. But then we get to see he was just following it as the days went by, and it kind of just got back up to 98, 99 cents and never got back to $1, right? And that was kind of scaring him. And that's why he kept tweeting this out, like, I don't know what's going on here. It's still not getting back to the dollar. And look at it, every couple days he's coming back on. This is what's happening. And then this morning he posted, hold on, here you go. What happened this morning? Look, it's getting depegged again. It's back down to 99.72 over here. If you look at USDC coin, this is not happening. So it's a Tether problem. And a lot of people are speculating out there, like, what if Tether depegs like UST, what would happen in the market? I mean, I think we all know what would happen in the market. I think we'd have a huge dip, right? I think a lot of money out there is in Tether, right? And there hasn't been a lot of consistency of how Tether, how the backing works, what it's pegged to. There's been a lot of shadiness around that, right? They got sued or they got audited, and then they said everything was okay, but people didn't trust the audit, and if this gets depegged, this could be another huge dip. So this could be another cascading effect, just like UST coin. So like I talked about in the beginning of the video, could we find a lower bottom? Could we go down to 20 to 18,000? Yes, we could, and that could be that event that could do that, right? So obviously the market right now is in a tough situation. We don't know what's going to happen. We have Celsius basically falling off the cliff here. Tether, we don't know. It's up in the air. You look at in a macro level, the stock market's down huge. You don't know what's going on with the inflation. I mean, obviously, we're in some serious turmoil in these markets. So, what could turn around to make these markets get back to normal? I mean, I don't think the Fed has much power. And this is another thing we talked about in Crypto Lifers channel on Saturday night. The Fed really has no power in this, right? They can keep hiring interest rates, but that's only going to cause the stock market to fall even more and the rest of the markets to dip. So I think we're looking at, if not, like I talked about Bitcoin falling maybe to 18,000, I think the stock market also take another huge dip. And I think we basically go sideways in that area for the next 3 or 4 months. That's my belief, because I just don't see us just all of a sudden, inflation just, falling right away. I think that we'll probably hit our peak here at 9%. They call it 8.7% right now. I think it's more like 12 to 15%. But I think we'll probably, what they call like stagflation, where we're in the inflation kind of going sideways, not going up or down, but, feeling the heat because we got gas prices almost $8 a gallon. We have chicken prices, everything up. You go to the grocery store, everything's up like double. So I think we're going to feel this hurt for the next, like I said, 3 or 4 months. But I think that we will find a bottom or top, what do you want to call it, with inflation or, the stock market and Bitcoin. And I think that by the end of the year, things will turn around. And I think that it's all timing up for kind of a bull cycle by the end of the year, I believe. We have the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit coming to an end, ETH 2.0 coming out. There's a lot of factors, regulation coming in. There's a lot of factors coming in by the end of the year. And I believe that inflation, it'll sort itself out. It only can, because prices can only go up for so long where then consumers aren't buying, right? If they can't afford, gas and food, then they're not going out and buying TVs and, whatever. They're not going, the retail stores are going to take hits, right? And what you're going to see is, since all the retail stores out there over inventory, right? They've overbought all their inventory. Now, if you go to a Target or Walmart right now, you just see like endless inventory, right? There's just like things are just stacked on top of each other. They're going to have huge sales. You're going to see liquidation sales all over the country, and they're trying to get rid of their last year's goods, right? So you're going to have like 75%, 80% liquidation sales everywhere at these retail stores. Used cars they've hit a peak. They're going to have to come down. You're going to see sale, Sunday, come down to, whatever Bach dealership and buy a new Toyota. It's like they're going to be deals everywhere because they need, interest rates will be higher. So that'll be tough, even tougher for the consumer. But they're going to have to put out these deals to get consumers to even think about buying, right? If you're out there, penny pinching on gas and food, you're not thinking about buying, a new house or buying a new car or buying a new TV or whatever. So, the consumer, if inflation stays where it is right now, the consumer is not going to be, spending their money like they were in the last year or two. So it's going to be an interesting summer, to say the least. But let's finish with one thing that really kind of irked me this morning. I saw this and I was like, this is what really, yes, we need regulation in this space, but we also need some of these, these YouTubers or actors in this space to be more conscious about what they say and what they do, right? So Thinking Crypto put this out. Michael Saylor is talking about, Michael is a rich guy, but I wouldn't want to be him right now. And this is what we got out of Bitcoin Magazine this morning. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy is down over $900 million on its Bitcoin investment. I mean, I'm sure he's doing all right, but that's tough. That's a tough loss, right? You think? But this is what he said. I believe this was late last year or so, or maybe it was, I forget where it was. It was sometime last year. But listen to what he said here. And, this is, you can't say this.
The only use of time is, how do I buy more Bitcoin? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin. So what I would say is use all your time to acquire Bitcoin, finance entities and weaker currencies to buy Bitcoin, or educate yourself on why this makes sense if you're not sure, and then educate everybody around you. You know, if you're working for a company that's got $100 million in the treasury, you got to convince the CEO and the board of directors to convert the treasury to Bitcoin. That's the most creative thing you can do. That'd be worth billions to them.
Deep breath, deep breath. So this was when like Bitcoin was, I think, was at $60,000, guys. So he's telling people to mortgage your homes, sell your family business, right, or like take a loan out on your family business to buy Bitcoin. You think a lot of people probably did this? Maybe not, mortgage their home and all this stuff, but they put their life savings into this at 60,000, right? They lost millions. This is not the type of thing that, he was trying to pump his bags. Let's be real. Yeah, he 100% believes in Bitcoin and what it's going to do, but you can't go on live TV and say something like this. Oh, man. That is not looking good now. It's funny that, people can't say certain things, not financial advice. I have to say that before every video I make, or at the end of every video I make, or I'll get sued by the SEC. A good friend of mine almost got sued by the SEC because he was just trying to educate people on the market. But this guy can go on TV and basically tell people to mortgage their homes, to put everything they have in Bitcoin at its top. You got to respect Michael Saylor for some things, but this type of thing I cannot stand, and I have the least amount of respect for this kind of attitude right here. But I will end the video there, guys. Remember, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But remember, I have to say this: I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for entertainment purpose only and educational purposes only. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.